Hi, Guido Fox here. Welcome by a new book report. Today I want to discuss this book. It's about the bullying brain. It's about bullying dynamics. It is around the 300 pages about a very sad topic today. I was a little bit hesitated the last day, so want to talk about this subject because it is heavily loaded and it makes me very disappointed in the matrix, in people, in personal health, in mental health, and it is a very sad topic. And if you look at the facts, the rational facts, it's really hard to say. It is very disappointed to say, but in the Netherlands, 2.6 million people deal or have dealt with bullying. It's insane numbers. And I did some research about the society costs of bullying. It's around 2 billion. So 2 billion on a yearly basis is lost because we are bullying each other at our work, at our schools, in our families, on the sports, in the gym, or on the hockey, of the football, or even in retirement homes, in elderly buildings. People are bullying each other. Can you imagine that your last days on earth are here and you be bullied? And mostly you're bullied from your youth. You're bullied from your youth to your middle age, and before you go into your grave, you will be bullied. Bullied in the elderly houses where you are in. It's insane. It's really insane. Matrix low social calibration. Low social behavioral patterns. I can talk with you how to deal with the bullying person with his followers. I can teach you how to react, I can teach you how to recover, I can teach you what kind of tricks or personal changes you can through it to avoid this dynamics or how to deal with this dynamics. I think it's the best if I put that at the end of the video, and I think there's also a topic to do more in one-to-one sessions to really have personal advice here, how to deal with bullying and how recover from the bullying patterns in your mind. Because what I said earlier, if you be bullied once, you are become a kind of addicted to the pattern. You have also kind of trust from, oh, I get used to this dynamics. And what you see a lot of times is that people are changing from schools and they become bullied again on a new school. And so we have to do something about this pattern that can be used in your system. But it's all kind of things what we can do about it. But first, I want to talk with you what is bullying and why there is bullying. Why there is bullying in the Matrix. Why people do this to each other. And most of all, people are so unconsciousness. People are so not aware even that they're bullying. People are so afraid. That's why they're bullying a lot of times. So why people bullying? What is kind of bullying or interesting subjects to start with? What is bullying? Bullying is actually putting people down. And that is a first aspects of bullying. And that can start with that you are very talented. You were very talented on your school. You had a lot of grades, high grades, and your teacher was always happy with you. You were the brave follower, you were the good student, and the leader of the group became jealous. He became jealous because the teacher was happy with you, and he became afraid because you were getting higher grades than him. Talent. This can be school talent, can also be sportive talents, can also be financial talent or financial raising up. Your parents had more money than the bullier parents. There was another growing up system there. So every time if you go above the level of the bullier, in financial success, in results, grades, work, financial, nicer car could be a problem, and position, and you have a PhD and 3 double degree studies, and the other employer has only 1 study. It can be create already jealous feelings. The bullier can be feel afraid, very afraid, and he's very disappointed in himself or herself. With women, it is more about beauty. If someone is very, very beautiful, we drag him down emotional wise and spiritual wise and to the level of the group. So jealousy is a cause. Jealousy, afraid to be not good enough, insecurity of the bullier. And this has to be understood very well, because the person who is bullying is also very afraid for himself, for herself, and is also a wounded person, is also suffering. The bullier is suffering, the people who follows the bullier are afraid for the bullying person, are afraid to fall out of the group. The followers are the first soldiers of the bullying person, they're afraid also for the bullier. And if they're not bullying the bullied person, then they fall out of the group and they are afraid also to be bullied. The followers of the bullying person are afraid to be bullied themselves. There is fear in the matrix to be not good enough. Not good enough. So that's the reason. Jealousy is mostly the reason. Jealousy, fear, insecurity is mostly the reason why bullying person bullied. And it is also that the bullied person is mostly bullied himself too. So it is a defense attack mechanism. The bullying person bullied the other person to not bully himself. So it is a defense attack mechanism. It's becoming quite complex, right, guys, about bullying mechanisms, bullying patterns. Also, if you're new in school or new in the office, bullying can start immediately if you're a strong person, because the leader is afraid to lose his position. That happens with me a lot of times. I was excluded, I was bullied because I was somewhere new, and they felt, hey, this is strong, smart, tall, physical, strong guy, we have to do something with him. So bullying persons are afraid to lose their position. That's also a dynamic what is going on a lot of times. Very talented persons will be bullied. In the matrix, we always think that it is the weak guy. It's the silly guy who gets bullied a lot of times. But what you see, it is the silly guy, but also the strong guy who get bullied a lot. Or the followers of the bullying persons get bullied sometimes too, to say, hey, watch out, right? Otherwise you fall out of the group. So these are a little bit kind of dynamics. What also in this book was mentioned that in office dynamics, leaders are mostly the bullying persons, because leaders actually don't feel responsibility to have conversations with people above them, because they don't have people above them. So they're free in their work, they're free in their responsibility. So what you see, if people don't have tell their responsibility or talk about responsibility to higher people, then people cannot hold themselves, and then bullying is involved. So in this research from Dr. Jennifer Fraser is mentioned that 1 of 6 leaders in business environments are actually bullying. So 1 out of 6 leaders are bullying, and that's of course not good for the business itself, and also not good for the bullying person. And what this research show off is that not only the bullying person are lifetime scarfed, his lifetime evolved with this mental depressive feelings about being bullied, these traumatic experiences, what can lead to fear patterns, addiction patterns, dementia, and not gonna sleep well, and high cortisol stress level by bullying person, but also that the bullying person is involved in bad neurotransmittic syndromes, consequences, negative on the brains. So also the bullying person with his followers gets his karma. And later in life, he can look back and think, hey, I did something wrong here, and you have some regretting feelings what you did in the past to people. And later you become maybe more consciousness, you become more aware, you think, wow, what the fuck I did in the past, what I did, why I did it. It was so unnecessary. So bullying starts with fear, starts with feeling not good enough, and jealousy to put someone down to your own level. This happens in schools, this happens in work dynamics, but also in relationships. Don't forget that bullying is very involved in love relationships, where people make comments about each other, what can be very, very nasty. So relationships is bullying evolved, and that's very, very bad also for your functioning on the office or in your school or as a student. And we don't see it because it is back in your private place, so we don't see the suffering about it. But even in families, also in families dynamics, the mother against the daughter, the son against the father, the competition there, right? Or brother against a sister, or sister against a brother, or whatever. So also in family dynamics and also in relationship dynamics we see bullying, and we cannot measure there the society cost. It's very difficult, but they all deal in not functioning well in the matrix and not functioning well in society and not functioning there, and you lose dedication, you lose energy, and you cannot give that to the beautiful society. So putting people down is an aspect of bullying, and I want to go deeper in the dynamics. So you have jealousy, fear, insecurity by the person, the bullying person, that's the cause. And he's maybe bullied himself, so he's bullying back. He's insecure to lose his position. He feels insecure because someone is more smarter or have more studies or is financial more successful. And then bullying starts. What happens is excluding. And excluding is the second stage of bullying. So first this starts with comments. You get a comment, and the comments will be worse and worse. And if you're not setting borders as a bullying person, it will be worse and worse and worse and worse. So that's more what to do about it. That comes later. But first, excluding. You exclude from the group. If you're not conform to the bullying person, if you're not are going onto control of him, you become excluded from the group. And that is very painful. That's very painful. They will exclude you. They were gossiping about you, and you know it. You feel that people are gossiping about you, but you cannot finger point it what it is. It's a very, very low spiritual feeling. Excluding and gossiping, and you will be moved from the group. And why is this so painful? This is so unbelievable painful for the bullied person because he has no friends anymore. No one wants to be friends with the bullied person because the followers are afraid to be bullied themselves, the weak followers. So you have no connection with the group. You have no social relationships anymore. And in your DNA and in your past lives and in your deep nature core, we still live in the jungle. The civilization is a falsification. So in your jungle mechanism, excluding means death. Excluding means the death is coming because it is not easy to survive alone in the jungle. Then you have to be very smart, dedicated, and very, very strong. The most people are not surviving in the jungle alone. So, excluding means death, physical wise. Excluding means also sexual, reproductive death. So, all your identity will be vanished away, your core identity. Because no woman wants to go with you, because a bullied person is unattractive. You're going alone in the jungle. Who is going with you? Who you are you available? Are you in staat? Can you feed the women and the children in the jungle alone? Can you care for your future family? Are you strong enough to reproduce yourself? So excluding from the group, and of course if you are a very nasty person, then it is also have to do with yourself, right? But I don't talk about that situation. I talk about the talented sensory guy who get bullied. But excluding means physical and sexual death. And therefore it is so painful. Therefore it is so painful to be excluded from the matrix group. Excluded from the matrix group. And the gossiping where you cannot finger point it. What is the reason for this bullying? So it leads to brain damage for both person and by the very sensitive persons who get bullied. Also the Stockholm syndrome can be involved. That is that you can create love for the bullying person, and from this love feelings you cannot set borders or cannot set lines here. And that was more in my situation because I have a very lovable feelings for person. So I was also sometimes friends with my bullying person, um, especially in one-to-one situations. People were very nice to me and very strange in a group. People become changed. Yeah, it's the Jesus mask dynamics that people have constantly different masks, right? There are others in groups than in one to one. So people one to one are very nice and talk, and in groups they become afraid or they had to show that they were the leader and not me. So that's also a strange dynamics in bullying, that people in groups are so different than one to one. So excluding is the cause for the physical and the sexual death. So therefore it is this so painful. Therefore it's so painful, bullying. So what you can do about it, and what you see is that people are used to this Stockholm syndrome, or people are used to this dynamics, and people have self-guilt, they're afraid, they have insecurity, they hate themselves. A lot of people who get bullied, they hate themselves and they think it is because of me, I'm a bad person. So there's also insecurity there and a low self-esteem. So what you can do is learn to set borders and boundaries with your voice, with your body language, with your way of speaking loudly, full of confidence and full of some dominance power here. So what I did in the past was that too less. I let it come over me. I was not really want to be a police agent all the time, and I was really gave also freedom to my bullied person. I was always thinking, what are you doing? Serious? Is this your level of behavior? Is that where you came from? Did you didn't see it yourself what you were doing to me and others? Are you serious? Are you so unawake? Are you so unconsciousness? But it's true. The people of the Matrix are unconsciousness. They don't know what they do. So they don't know what they do. They are blind. They react from the ego. They react from the fear. They react from anger, from insecurity, from disappointed in themselves. So you have to wake them up. I was always going to my teacher. Hey, they're bullying me. Can you do something? Hey, can you stop with it? Please, if you do it once, you have to stay 50 minutes outside the class. So you have to wake them up. That is one solution. You have to learn as a guy in your personality, and of course with personal coaching and identity shaped sessions, and to work on your character and to be proud of yourself and to know what you can do, and the self-confidence there, of course. That is also important. But first learn to set boundaries with a coach, with me, to learn to set boundaries and say, no, stop with doing it. First, verbal, and in my opinion, if the guy is going too far, you can give a punch. You can do this. Stop. And I learned that from a Krav Maga coach, fighting coach. So go back to the natural state, go back to the jungle, go back and make the bullying person awake. Hey, don't do this anymore. When I did that, the bullying stops, because the bullying person get off from the group. The people were seeing it and they stopped. The followers of the bullying person stopped, because he don't want to bully me, because if he get a punch, his status in the group become lower and lower. So then he was getting away from me and the bullying stops. But yet, in my special situation, as a high gifted child with genius brains and high intuitive feelings, I had no relationships, social relationship with the followers. Because if you have an EQ of 140, 150 and you're in the ground school or high school, then people are 100 EQ or 110. So I had no social relationships with the group. So it was for me very difficult to survive in the matrix systems, even in work. If you're so high in your spirituality, in your intelligence level, in your results there, then there is a disbalance. So the first steps to stop it, you have to stop the bullying persons, is to awake the bullying person in his natural state. So you have to go down to the nature. That's what I want to say. Stop talking loudly with confidence and give a push. Learn to give a push. Boof. And see what the result is. Don't go to his level further. Do it in a few seconds and stay later high in your spirituality. You don't want to become part of bullying matrix patterns because you lack energy. You see a lot of people are becoming a follower. A lot of people are going to fight with this leader all the time, and it's costs so much energy. So you want to be temporarily to the natural state. Some 10 seconds or 1 minute, just 1 minute to the lower natural states of the matrix. Because civilization is a falsification. We all holding nature as a suppressing mechanism. So a little bit to nature. Give a punch, straight face, eye face. Stop, what the fuck are you doing? And go back to your own level. Setting borders, and you can be a little bit physical. Or stand straight before the bullying person. Hey, I don't accept it. With your chest. That's the first thing to learn. And it is very sad that this has to be taught because we are not still living in an enlightened society. Then work on your social skills to get friends, to give something to the group, what you can offer the group, to be part of the group. And for a genius as me, it is difficult to get that social relationship. So if you are completely fall out of the group in what I said, in talents or brains or financial background or whatever, you're fully out of the group, then I should say escape. Escape out of the matrix. Escape to a group what is fitting more by you. And I say this very, very hard because the most people are stuck in their job. They're stuck in the field of work. They're stuck in the school system. But a deeper question is, do you want to raise up your children in the matrix? Why not to escape? Why not to let your child study alone or with a few others, or home study and playing outside in the neighborhood with friends there? Right? So in my situation, I'm very blessed with my situation. I can escape. I can move from people who have bad energy fields. I can see the fields of people. I can see in 10, 20 seconds if these people show bad social behavioral patterns. So even in a gym, if I see something, I don't want to train next to you. Oh, you come next to me? You want to pick my energy? You want to steal my high spiritual vibration energy? Okay, I finish my set and go to the other corner of the gym. So in deeper parts, you have to learn to go into your groups, to grow into the groups where you can grow, where you feel home, and learn to say goodbye to your old group where you don't feel okay with. So I can choose which clients I want to have. I can say goodbye to the clients. I can move to another corner in the gym. I can meet people during the day who I like. So there's a deeper question to what to do if you don't feel home and you constantly had to go down to the level of the group. So escape the matrix, because the matrix is full of bullying dynamics. 2.4 million, 2 billion cost. It's the matrix. Welcome in the matrix. Welcome in the world of bullying. You see it also in geopolitics, and world leaders are bullying each other. It's common sense. So work on your personality, work on your character, work on what you're good in, self-confidence, setting borders, try to be social, giving the group value with your knowledge or your attitude, or give something back, make relationships there. And if this doesn't work, escape to a group where you feel comfortable, escape the matrix, go where you get energy from. And that was sad in my situation. I couldn't escape. I was in a non-fitting intellectual system. So I couldn't escape. I was prisoned by the matrix. And now I'm free. What's the price of freedom? Another interesting question. What's the price of freedom? How many thousands euros you want to pay yourself to deal with only positive people in your surroundings and escape the destructive, gossiping, excluding dynamics? That's an interesting question for life coaching. How much you want to pay yourself to be free from destructive energy fields, to live a free life, to don't hurt your colleague every time complaining, that you don't hear that voice anymore, that you don't see the destructiveness, the ugly long faces of your colleagues, of your schoolmates or whatever. How much is that the price for it? Another thing, what's important is recovery. Recover your wounds, recover the traumatic experience to meditation. Meditate and not waving it away because it becomes a volcano in your system. You don't want to have a volcano in your system. So recover. Recover yourself with meditation. Recover yourself with talking to a coach. Recover it. The wounds from the past have to go out. And move further and learn from it. Move further in your life. Now it's a very, very sad topic. Very sad. It's also interesting topic because a lot of people have to deal with bullying, and it is very disturbing for yourself and also for society. Thank you for watching this extended video, and I wish you a wonderful day, and I see you by the next video. Bye bye.